I love doing old historical London pub tours. Now I'm going to take you on one right now. It's the best way to see London through the eyes of an old historical pub. I love the London pubs, what they stand for, the community they look after, the architecture, the famous people they've had in them. The Great British Pub is something of an iconic institution to Great Britain. We have to keep hold of them. We can't let them die. And all we've got to do is go in and have a pint here and there. I'm going to start at St Paul's. Look at that little backdrop there, look. What a way to see London, eh? Right, now this is the original Temple Bar. This was down Fleet Street, separated City of Westminster to the City of London. They moved it down right next to St Paul's Cathedral. Look at that beauty, look. And what a day, look at the sunshine. Anyway, we're not here for architecture, are we? We're here for pubs. Literally a 30-second walk from St Paul's Cathedral and you're in another world. And there's a pub on every corner, but this first one we're going to, in my opinion, is the best looking pub exterior in the whole of London. Beautiful. You have a look at this, look. Look at that beauty. The Cockpit pub. Look. This was built in 1825 as a pub, but on this site was the Dominican friars. And an 8-acre monastery site or a friary site, but Henry VIII got rid of it when he wanted to get divorced. And the Roman Catholics wouldn't let him, so he abolished the Catholic religion and shut down his site, sold off the land, but kept his pub. Now originally this was an old gatehouse to that monastery, and it's beautiful inside. Right, it's called the Cockpit. That's exactly what they've done. Done cockfighting. So as you go in that door, so on the left-hand side, the original pit is still there. Just at the top on the right, there's a little galley standing area. But all the well-to-do people won't get no blood and feathers on their suits. Look at that, the original cockfighting pub is beautiful inside. And a little bit of history here. Let's zoom into that a bit. You read that? Look at that. William Shakespeare purchased lodgings at the Blackfriars Gatehouse. Supposedly, William Shakespeare lived up there in that flat. Right, now the next pub we're going to will be just at the other end of the monastery site. Look at these, look, stained glass windows. Look at the architecture. Look at the work that goes into these pubs. All the woodwork, the old gas lanterns. Beautiful, isn't it? I love these pub tours. Every pub, Shakespeare, Charles Dickens frequented these. Charles Dickens, I'm telling you now, went to every single pub in London. He loved it, that fella. Now we are at the Blackfriars pub. Look at that. Is that the same building as the last one? Is that the same shape? An original gatehouse from the old monastery. Beautiful, isn't it? See the Blackfriar up there? So that's why, there's Blackfriars Station. There's the Thames over there, the Eye. This area is called Blackfriars, the Dominican Order of Friary or something like that. I know the Dominican friaries, they wore black robes, and that's why this area is called Blackfriars. It's a Nicholson pub. If you've got a Nicholson pub, it's always going to be nice inside. But look at the angle of it, look. What a beauty, eh? Right, now we're just going to walk off down here. So there's the pub there. Which the next one, just over the road. The road we're on at the moment, this one here, underneath is one of London's lost rivers, the River Fleet. It still runs here to this day. This River Fleet got infested. Used to go for the meat market, and it got so polluted, people were getting ill, sick, they were dying off of it. So the original river come from Hampstead Ponds with two feet, Hampstead Ponds, Hampstead Heath, and they both run down. It's still to this day, still goes out into the Thames. So we just jumped on Fleet Street, right? So that's Ludgate Hill. St Paul's, down Ludgate Hill, we come to Fleet Street, right? The street of shame. So Fleet Street is a dead straight road, one of the original Roman thoroughfares that goes all the way down to the Strand. Strand goes straight down to the mall goes straight down to Buckingham Palace. It's one straight road from St Paul's all the way down to Buckingham Palace. So the Romans, they did love a straight road, didn't they? The whole of the British press was on Fleet Street up until 1980s. They started in the 1500s, and I'll show you the site where the first printing press was. Every story you read, any newspaper, was written on Fleet Street, mostly in pubs. Drunk, chatted, bribed, swapped stories, it all happened in the pubs of Fleet Street. So I'm going to show you the first one. I love this little one. One of the original gin palaces of London. Look, the Punch Tavern. Just look at the entrance to this pub, right? It is stunning. This is an original gin palace, and you can see why. The tiled decor is just absolutely out of this world. Look at this. So it's called The Punch from the magazine, The Punch, the left-wing sort of newspaper magazine. So many of the magazine's workers drunk in here, had their meetings in here, they renamed it The Punch. How's that, eh? Beautiful inside. That's the way to do it. Yeah, look, Punch. Punchy Judy. Right, so straight from the Punch, we go to the Old Bell. Right, does anyone know about the Old Bell? This is where the very first printing press, Fleet Street, was located here, right? But it's more than that. The Old Bell was built by Sir Christopher Wren for his workers. He built this pub for his workers. Look, let me take you around the back. So that's the Old Bell. So Sir Christopher Wren, after the Great Fire of London, he rebuilt St Paul's, but he rebuilt 52 churches, Sir Christopher Wren. And one of them was St Bride's Church, which is this one just round the back. And St Bride's Church, supposedly, that's where the idea of the tiered wedding cake come from. The baker come past this church, looked at the design of it, and give his wife a special birthday, special wedding gift, a cake. So he made the cake into tiers, and that's where the tiered wedding cake come from. There you are, St Bride's Church. Just going over the road now. This is a classic, famous pub that we're going to. And in the basement, it goes down 2 floors to the 13th century Whitefriars. And the original beams from the Whitefriars are still down in that basement. And you can go there, have a drink, and have something to eat. It's amazing. Because of the famous Cheshire cheese. It was originally named the Horn, built in the 1500s. It got rebuilt 1667, a year after the Great Fire of London. It goes down 2 floors in the basement and 3 floors up. It is beautiful. It's dark, it's cosy. So who drunk here? Right, Winston Churchill, Charles Dickens, shot. Apparently, he had the seat to the right-hand side of the fireplace. Yeah, Winston Churchill, Princess Margaret, P.G. Wodehouse. There's a typical Dickinson back alleyway, look. These original alleyways, all this footprint of these roads around this wider city, the original footprint how it was laid out years ago. So it smells good in there. There it is. Beautiful old sign. I'm going to turn you around and go back. Look how quiet it is around the back here, eh? It's beautiful inside. Now, I think that's a Sam Smith pub. So Sam Smith pubs, you can't swear and you can't have phones and there's no tellies. Now, just leaving that pub behind, literally just round the corner here, old Samuel Johnson lived. He drank in there all the time, Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson invented the dictionary and literally lived just round this corner. His house, and it's a museum now. They're beautiful, eh? There's a little statue of his cat. Hodge. And this is the famous saying, when it's when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. For there is London, all that life can afford. Look at that, look. Nestled between them buildings, the old Cock Tavern, look. Now, originally, it was this side, it was where I am. When the redevelopment of London back in the 1800s, they moved it across the road. But this is iconic. In Samuel Pepys' diaries, he accounted that he turned up to this pub by boat and partook in lobster and owl. Look at that. Because that Lost River fleet, all the arms of that river run up here, so there's a lot of rivers and little inlets and outlets used to run up this way. Beautiful, isn't it? Now, this is not a historical pub, but it's a branch of the Bank of England. And this was a cashier's branch. And I think I turned into a pub around the 1970s or 80s, but the decor in it is absolutely amazing. And down in the basement, it's got an original safe. Gold bullion and the crown jewels were once housed in this old place. But let's go and have a look at it. It's the old Bank of England, but they've done it beautiful. There's a little surprise round the back. We've got a bell yard. Bring it round the back. There's a beautiful little surprise here. This is the yard of the old Bank of England pub. Look at that. Nice little gin bar. Old double-decker red route master. Beautiful, eh? That's the best thing about London. Just go in the little quiet lanes, the nooks and crannies, the alleyways. Off the beaten track. You don't know what you're going to find. It's one of the oldest surviving pubs in London. Now, it's got that claim because it survived the Great Fire of London. A lot of them got perished and rebuilt, which I'm glad they rebuilt and fantastic, but this one survived it. Look at that, on a quiet little back road here, all old shops. We've got the 7 Stars pub. It's named the 7 Stars from the 7 provinces of the Netherlands, because just over the back there's Lincoln Fields, and all the Dutch settlement. They used to farm the land there, and they frequented this pub. And it's beautiful. If you're big or you use the toilet, you're going to struggle. I just about got up the staircase. It is tiny inside. And it's got a little cat that runs around with a collar on it. I think it's the General or the Colonel, they call it, something like that. Lovely pub. And the landlady, as quirky as you like, she does a lovely Bloody Mary. There we have it, a little snippet of my historical London pub tour. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like, subscribe, share it out. There's a lot more coming. That was just a snippet of the London pub tours. And what a way to see London, eh? One pint at a time.